gentlemen, and welcome back to SimAirport. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here at ConflictNerd International Airport, where things are going pretty darn well. Before we get on with this episode, though, I just want to extend a huge thank you to everybody who commented with something absolutely lovely on yesterday's episode. It's absolutely brightened my day, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then in yesterday's episode, I spent a couple of minutes talking about how I wasn't feeling so great and how I was feeling stressed and pressured and just a little bit down in the dumps. Everyone was just lovely in the comments, and I'm incredibly grateful for that, and it really did genuinely brighten my day. I also want to extend a very special thank you to someone who messaged me. I don't usually do this. I don't usually give shoutouts or anything like that, but someone by the name of GamerJ98M messaged me via Facebook with the most wonderful, amazing message, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. And I wouldn't be extending a thank you via video, but Facebook it won't let me send any messages back to this person. So it was an absolutely beautiful message. I feel incredibly lucky to have had anyone say, you know, all this stuff about my channel and what I do and all that. And to everybody, I just wanted to extend that thank you. So, yeah, thank you. Anyway, today I would like to expand ticketing a little bit. I would like to expand baggage claim a little bit. I have some ideas for how I can do both of those things, so let's go ahead and get right to it. First things first, the air traffic control tower needs to go. Second thing second, we're going to build a fence. Actually, you know what? We're not going to build a fence, is what we're going to do. We're not going to build a fence, because I want to try something kind of interesting with the new ticketing zone. So we're going to go to here, and we're going to make a bloody big building. It's going to be a considerable size, but it's actually going to come out of about there. And it's going to go, what distance is that? 40? Yeah, 40. Let's go 50 on this building. So about 50. For that wall. I know that looks a bit... Actually, why did I just do that? That doesn't make sense. I should have just done the foundation. Let's just go like this. So 50 by... can I get 50 by 20? Is that a thing I can do? 19, 20. That's not going to demolish that fence, is it? That's a bit of a pain in the butt. But hopefully I can make that work. What I'll do is put some fence there and put some fence there. And then hopefully get the walls to work on this properly. Hopefully it doesn't try and substitute some fence for a wall there, but we're going to see what happens. I'm also thinking I'd like to go to staff, and I'd like to bring my workforce up to about 50, just so everything gets done nice and quickly. Today we're going to be doing a lot of construction work, so having these guys here is going to be super important. I also realize they have some significant distance to go around the building to get their materials, but that's going to be totally fine. I'm also noticing that they are in fact using this fence as a wall. That's not really what I want them to do, but to each their own, I suppose. Can I go to build and maybe clear that out? Or is that maybe a bad idea? That's probably a bad idea whilst the construction's not finished. So where's my army of work? There they are. I don't get why they don't just go through the building. That would be a lot quicker rather than just going the whole way around like that. That also seems kind of dangerous. There's planes that are, you know, driving around a little bit. So those guys just sort of casually walking across the tarmac is, I wouldn't do it. That's all I'm saying. You wouldn't catch me walking across the tarmac like that. I don't care how much I'm getting paid. It just doesn't... I couldn't do it. I'd be too scared. So let me go ahead and clear this out of here. We do want to get rid of that bit of fence, because they're very nearly done with construction. Now, that is going to be a security breach, but they are about to finish this, so we should be... Oh, come on. There's the tiniest little gap there. Come on, there we go. So there's no longer a security breach because they did just finish that, right? Come on, get rid of the... What's up with the security alert? Come on. Why is that a security alert? What's the big deal? Is it because the building's not technically finished? Why is that? What's up with security here? That's a secure area. There we go. So now it's gone. What I'd like to do is go back to build, go to foundation, And I'd quite like a wall along there. That was sort of my original plan, was to have a wall along there, but the game thought otherwise. So we'll get ourselves a nice wall there. And then my plan is that this is going to be the new ticketing space, because right in there should be 48, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's a size space of 48. I realize the planes sort of go over this building, which is kind of interesting. So, if it's 48, that means I can get 24 ticketing desks. But what I'm thinking is I'll get 22, because I can leave a nice gap in here. So 24 and 20... Yeah, 24 and 25 is the middle of this place. So I want to go 23, leave a gap of 2, and go the other 23. And each little space there is going to be a ticketing group. And what I mean by that is these ticketing desks up here will go to this baggage routing station, and these ones will go to a baggage routing station down here. Each different baggage routing station is then going to go to a different baggage carousel or group of baggage carousels, meaning that we're going to be able to split our passengers up really, really nicely. And that kind of has me excited. So, what I'd like to do is just mark this all out a little bit and make sure I do it properly. So, we're going to do this sort of thing. And we're going to do this sort of thing. We're going to put a bunch of tiles down in here. We're going to get that done nice and quickly as well. I'm also noticing that my builders seem to be able to phase through solid matter, which really helps because I don't really want passengers coming in here. So we'll do this sort of thing, like I said, just like that. And what I'd also like to do is go to Objects, go to Doors, get a large sliding door. I want one there, and I want one there. And I guess I'll sort of double it up a little bit like that. And that'll make it a bit easier for my work. There they go. There's the workforce putting the floor in. Beautiful stuff. That's going to make life so much easier. So yeah, my plan is to have 2 groups of ticketing desks. And that will hopefully make this airport run really, really well. Unfortunately, it is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt doing this. Because what's going to happen is, as soon as I start putting in the new ticketing desks, passengers are going to start going to them, and I don't really want them to do that. Also, why have they missed a square there? Can you guys... There we go. So yeah, once the new ticketing desks go in, it's going to be a total pain in the butt. But I reckon I can make it work. I also realize that I'd like to go ahead and destroy that door, and destroy that door. Because I want those to be a little bit further apart. And you'll see why in just a second. I have a bit of an idea for all this space. So I'd like a door there. And a door there. I'd like to go to build and get myself a bit of wall just there and there. Then we go to objects. We go to bench. And we're going to put some benches just there. And there. Just there and there. Just there, and up here as well. Now, that is going to limit some of the space that we have for queues in here, but I think it is going to be really important to have some nice benches in here for the passengers. This area here, the current ticketing zone, is going to become an area for passengers to just sit down and relax. I'm also thinking that the old offices could absolutely become bathrooms. That's totally an option. I'd actually like to measure that space whilst we're here. That space is 9 by 9. So if I was to do that, that's 9 by 8. So that's 9 by 9. Which is totally fine. My thinking is that we're going to have 4 separate restrooms. Because I'm noticing a lot of passengers going from security and ticketing down to arrivals to use the restroom. I'm also noticing that they barely use more than this little group of toilets here. So I'd like to recreate this layout that we have with this restroom. The horizontal layout in the very small space. Because that seems to be the most efficient way to do restrooms in this game, as silly as that is. Also, are you guys seriously coming up here to use that area? What if I was to set that as a... If I was to set that as an office, would you go through it? Like, would they be in there, or would it say that you can't be in there? I feel like having the thing as an office makes no difference. Why is there a oh, that's why there's a security breach. That's fine. Yeah, having that as an office is making no difference. They're just going to use it to sit down, so that's fine. We'll just have to deal with that. Also, if my workers could really get on the whole, you know, securing the airport thing, that'd be nice. There we go. So the airport's been re-secured. Let's go back to build. Let's go to wall. I want a wall there. And I'm going to want a wall just there. And I'm going to want a wall... this isn't really going to be possible just yet. That's a bit of a pain. Right. Yeah, that's actually a bit of a pain in the butt. Let me do this kind of thing. Let me destroy these doors. Let me go to objects, and we'll put some doors just in the middle of all of this. Because that actually makes sense to have the doors in the middle anyway. So the doors can all go in the middle. We're going to have these 3 restrooms, and I really do hope this works. I really hope this 3 restroom thing will stop people from awkwardly going from one area to another. I'm also noticing a lot of people using self-ticketing kiosks, so I'd like to do something about that as well. But for the time being, let's go to objects, let's go to ticketing desk, and let's get going with this. So ticketing desks are going to go all up in here. Like I said, 2 groups of 11. Apparently, wait, whoa, hello. That didn't fit properly at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there is 11. It's just a slightly different space to what I thought it would be. So that's 1 and 2. Let me pause the game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I guess that's all right. Bit more space between them than I thought there'd be. But that's fine. Let's go back to benches for a second and get a few of those in, I guess. Bit of an awkward space there, though, so let me just space this out a bit differently. Like that and like that. I'd then like to put some... Oh, we do need flight info displays, don't we? Let me get some flight info by all of the doors. Just like that. Because that'll, you know, keep people nice and happy. It'll give them information, and people do like information. Get some flight info there. Get some flight info there. And I guess we could put some electronics vending just there. Which is maybe not the best idea in the world, but we'll do it anyway. I'd also like to go to walls. I'd like to put some walls just there and just there. With some doors to make it look like it's actually sort of a secure area. So this is going to activate this area, which is actually a pain in the butt. Because I don't really want this to be an active ticketing zone, but it's going to be. We're also going to need to bring staff from 20 to 42. So, yeah, 42 members of staff. There we go. I think. Roughly 42 members of staff. This area will hopefully work, though. We'll see what happens. I'm also thinking that I'm going to copy sort of the way that we did queues done in security, except instead of having one queue that has 3 rows for one ID check stand, I think it might be an idea to have 3 rows for 2 of the ticketing desks, or maybe... Is there a way I could do more? I don't know, because I realize we can't split this up into 2s because there's 11 per side. But I can't realistically do a single file queue per thing. I'll figure it out. I actually, you know what? I have an idea in mind for all of the queues that should totally work. Let's get these walls in anyway and, you know, make this all look good. That'd be kind of nice. Did I seriously put that in the wrong spot? That's embarrassing. Let me also destroy that because I realize that's not a placement we can have anyway. So we'll get those out of there. Everybody's coming in here for one reason or other. They don't actually seem to be going here for ticketing though, which is kind of strange. Either way, let's start looking at the queues. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch the whole process. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but my thinking for these queues is this. Basically, we can just sort of bring them back and zigzag them like crazy and have them go to about there. Which isn't the longest queue, but it is going to give us a nice space down here for passengers to filter through when they're done with the queue. I'm also noticing that the benches are going to be slightly in the way for a lot of these, so the benches are probably going to have to be moved. Which is honestly a bit of a pain, because I do like having the benches there, but like I said before, the current ticketing zone is going to become an area where passengers that have gone through ticketing can go ahead and have a bit of a rest. And I'm also thinking that this massive expansion for ticketing should oh, hello. I can't actually put the... Can't actually do anything there because of the benches. So let's clear those out. Let's clear those out. And let's get these queues in here. And get the new ticketing zone up and running. Because I realize, actually, you know what we should do? Go to utilities. And... the top set of these guys can link into there. And that'll be pretty good. So that's going to be the first set of ticketing desks set up for all of this, which is kind of exciting. Alrighty, so this is the new ticketing space. It's still not quite perfect. Obviously, I do need to go in and actually assign it as the ticketing zone, which I've just done. In fact, I'm going to set that entire building to just be ticketing. I've also decided to get a new bit of road just over here. Because what I'm thinking is I can go ahead and build some sidewalks, which is probably going to be a pretty good idea. So we'll do that sort of thing. We'll do that sort of thing just like this. We can probably bring it down a little bit further, but we'll do that shortly. What I'd like to do, though, is go right up to there, go to there, and go to there. And just sort of outline this little space as well, so we can have some grass in there, because I think that'll look nice. We'll bring the sidewalk down to there as well. And I guess we'll just sort of have it match, really. Although that bit needs to be cancelled, because it needs to go like that instead, so there we go. So that's all going to be built in there. What I'd then like to do is build some sidewalk just in here as well. Because I'm going to move the drop-off zone, so that the drop-off zone is up towards ticketing. So let's go to zones, let's go to none, and let's go to drop-offs and clear it out of there. Then we go to drop-offs, and drop-offs is now going to exist by the doors just there. And also sort of extending across the road a little bit too. In fact, we could probably bring it down to... probably about there. Should do the job. So that's going to move drop-offs a little bit. It means cars will turn off a little bit sooner. But for the most part, people are filtering in exactly the way I'd like them to. And I have actually gone ahead and decided to connect the second group of ticketing desks to this conveyor system just temporarily, because what we're going to be doing fairly soon is turning that all around. But for the time being, what I would like to do is go to build, go to fence, and block off that little bit. Because I want to work on getting these two separate buildings connected so that people can stop walking out of the ticketing building and into the main terminal. I'd also like some bathrooms here. So let me go to floor. Let me go to floor 2, actually. And say that bathrooms are going to have this nice square tile. Just like so. And I've just realized, people have been mentioning that apparently, if I go to deliveries, and I go to objects, and I go to storage shelf, apparently my workers will actually store boxes on these, as opposed to just leaving them everywhere. Now, I don't know if that's actually true, but I'll put this to the test and we'll see what happens. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure the storage shelves just work in exactly the same way that, oh, are they actually doing that? No, they're just building them. Yeah, storage shelves seem like they just work in exactly the same way that the dumpsters work. So I don't think that was true. I'll be honest. I I think I've been bamboozled slightly. Now let me go to toilets here. And it'd be really nice if you could like just click and drag to place stuff. That'd be so handy. Because this is going to take an absolute age to place all of these toilets. So what I'll do is... Now, you know what? We'll just place all the toilets nice and quickly like this. I'll just sort of quickly click all through. We're going to need some sinks. So we'll put the sinks on that side and just quickly click. And quickly click along all of that as well. Come on, there we go. So just all along there. And all along there. So that's going to be 4 restrooms in this area, which is going to be quite important. Hopefully, it's going to do a lot of good stuff for us, because hopefully it means I don't need to get rid of the restroom from the arrivals area, but we'll totally see what happens. Hopefully it works, though. Hopefully it does work. Also, that fence is done, so I can now go to build and clear that fence out of there, which means I can finally get towards working, or rather getting these 2 buildings together. Now, flight seems like it might have just been cancelled, because a lot of people just left kind of angry, and I'm not really sure why. That is a little bit weird. But we'll go to foundations here. We'll do this sort of thing. We'll connect those 2 buildings together. And then we can get rid of this door, which is beautiful stuff. That's exactly what we want to be doing. Then we can also get rid of this fence over here, which is also something that we want to be doing. Oh, another thing we want to be doing is getting this floor in here. Because I think that floor is going to look much, much nicer. That sort of diamond patterned one. Oh, there we go. People can finally move through here. Look at this. Beautiful. Right. What I'm thinking with this, though, is that I can't actually put a door in there because it's a bit of an awkward size. So let me go to foundation and do that. Just to extend it a little bit further so I can get one of the large sliding doors in there. Because that will look a little bit better. Because then I can actually have a transition from the square tiles in here to the diamond-ish tiles in here. I'd also like to, I actually, you know what, I would kind of like to destroy that door. Because that's the door a lot of people from arrivals are currently using to go to the restroom. Although it is a quick way for them to get back to security, but I think I'm going to figure something out for that. I'm going to try and figure something out for them to get back to security a little bit quicker than they're currently doing. So let's get rid of that door. Let's go to objects and go to large sliding door and get one just there and one just there. Then the floors for that little space can be carpet, I reckon. I think that'll be quite nice. Just get some carpets in there. Also, now that that door is gone, let's get some walls, just like that, so that they'll maybe stop, you know, walking out of that building, which is very strange. Oh my god, there's so many people in there. So many people going through ticketing, but I mean, they're moving, and that's kind of the important thing, so I'm not going to complain too much. Let's get the blue carpet just there. And once that wall's in, the ticketing expansion's pretty much complete. Which is, it doesn't sound exciting, but that's exciting to me. I mean, look at this. This is pretty cool. I am actually really happy with this. I really, really am. It looks absolutely perfect. It looks like airport ticketing. It's a huge, long room of desks, and that's pretty much it. Why are so many people coming up through there? Where are you all coming from? Are you all going to the bathroom down there, or are you all walking around to go through arrivals to get into the airport? That is just odd. That is just really odd. Let me go to zones for a second, and let me set this to none. Because I wonder if that might help a little bit. If having the security zone end a little bit sooner is maybe an idea. Why are so many people walking back out of my airport? I'm so confused by this. I really am. A lot of them are going to the restrooms up here. I do know that for a fact. I actually know that, well, I don't know, but I actually reckon that expanding the restrooms down here and getting multiple restrooms down here might be a good idea. So let me go to build, let me go to foundation, and let me massively expand on the baggage claim area. So we'll go, you know what, it doesn't need to be huge. Doesn't need to be a huge expansion. It can be something like that. That should be totally fine for a baggage claim expansion. What we can also do is clear out that bit of fence so I can put some proper foundation in there. That is going to be a bit of a security breach though, which is a bit of a concern, but if my workers are quick, which they sometimes are, we shouldn't have to worry for too long. Which I think we're good, actually. It looks like we're almost good. Can you put that bit of wall in there, please? There we go. Right. Next step is gonna be foundation and not wall. I said foundation, please. That. Can I get rid of all that mess? Because that's not quite supposed to be like that. That's supposed to be a little bit neater than it currently is. I'd also like to foundation this out of there. Or clear that out of there. Is that possibly what we need to do? Yes, it is. Alright. Then let me go to wall. Let me bring this across. I'll leave a little gap there because I think we're going to change up the way the baggage claim area... I'm going to change up the way we get people fed into it. So we'll destroy those two things. And we can go to get some of the security gates over here. Security exits just in that spot. Just like so. Get some walls. Put some walls in there if they would hurry up and do it, which I don't think they're going to do because I didn't destroy that one. That's fine. Build, please. Right. So that's not gone, and that's not the way they feed down through into baggage claim. And that seems totally fine, because what that's going to let me do is expand baggage claim, get a couple more baggage carousels in there, and also set up the second thing for... what am I looking for here? I'm looking for... not baggage carousel, I actually wanted this, the baggage routing station. We want the second baggage routing station, but I'm thinking it could go over here. If I'm honest. Like, I think over there could be an interesting spot for it, because this one's right up by these guys. This one could go all the way over here. Although, here is sort of more convenient, so to be honest, let's just throw it there. And let's measure the baggage claim area. So it is 26 across, and the carousels are 3 wide. So that's fine. That's totally... Why are you all just stood there? That's really strange. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 8 would be 24. 27, yeah, that's not going to really fit, is it? Alright. It can't really go in the middle of the room either. Bit of a pain. I guess I could do... I can do something interesting with this. I have an idea. I have an idea. So this right here is my idea. We have a baggage routing station down here, which is feeding into these two carousels. And then the baggage routing station up here is feeding into these two carousels, which are all working independently of each other, which is absolutely beautiful. So... that's my plan. It works. We've separated our passengers to go to 2 different groups of ticketing desks. They go to 2 different sets of baggage carousels. And if I really wanted to separate them, I could have a completely different baggage claim area for the south side of the airport, which I'm not going to do because I think that'd be a little bit unnecessary, but I could do that if I really wanted to. Now, something I would like to do before we work towards wrapping things up today is I'd like to get some food vending machines in here because we don't really have any. And I feel like that's something that my passengers are sort of wanting because they always use them when we have them. So I'm going to get a couple of food vending machines just in here so that if my passengers happen to want some noms, they can totally get them. I'll get some electronics vending machines in there as well. And then I will get a couple of benches. Just something like that and something a little bit like that. Just 2 benches on either side. We've got 4 in the middle. Then this... why did you all just miss a flight? I am trying to figure out what they're missing. That one was cancelled because the airline didn't like it, but I can't imagine that's a flight that those passengers were here for. There is definitely something weird going on with my airport. But we'll figure it out. Today is just about expansion. Next time, we're going to focus a little bit more on the management side of things. But I would like to go ahead and have my workers tear out these chairs here. And they do just leave the boxes behind, so those storage shelves did nothing. Now, what size is this room across? It is 19. So the middle is 10. Which is fine, I guess. So, if the middle is 10, I think that's it there, isn't it? Yeah, so that's 10. Let me do a strip down through the middle of this. Just like that. Because I do want to get some benches in here. Although, what distance is it from top to bottom as well? That's another question. So, top to bottom is 18. So, the middle is 9 and 9, which is just there. Okay, so the middle is 9 and 9, just there and just there. Right, let me get some benches. Let's do that and that and that and that. I could get some benches up there if I really wanted to. You know what, I think I will. I think we'll do this. We'll have this gap in the middle just there be how you get through to the bathrooms. We'll double all of this up a little bit. Just like so. So there's plenty of space for people to have a seat. I'll not leave that much space between them. Just because I really want to pack people in here. I really want to get people seated. I also don't really like the idea of having a bunch of seats that are facing the exits of the bathrooms. Because I feel like that would just be awkward. You don't want to come out of the bathroom and just have a crowd staring at you the whole time. So we're going to try and avoid that. But this looks alright to me. I realize we have this awkward space in the middle and we have this big corridor over here. But what we can do with that is get some decoration, get some flight info, get all of that. In fact, I would like to, you know, do a couple of flight info displays there. And a couple of flight info displays there. We'll get a couple there as well, and a couple just there. And then we can get some flight info in this middle section too. So flight info could go there and there. We'll get a bit there and get a bit there. So that'll keep everybody in the know. Everybody's going to know where their flight is, when their flight is, how it's coming along, whether it's delayed or not. Seems like a good plan to me. And the area just looks alright. I might... You know what? I think I am going to throw some carpet in there. Just there. All of that could be carpet once they get that last bit of flight info in there. Where are my workers? They're taking their time with this one bit of flight info just there. There he is. Right. So flight info's now in place. Let's get some carpet in there. Just to let people rest their feet should they happen to want to do that. And that looks pretty good. I mean, that's a nice area for passengers to sit. They can use the bathrooms. And for the most part, the airport really seems like it's working. So, yeah, today has been another construction episode. And if that's not your thing, then I do apologize. But I think we've set ourselves up really nicely to try and just expand things a little bit. Now, I would like to get a couple of self check-in spaces somewhere. I'm actually looking at this and thinking if we got rid of those flight info displays, just before we wrap things up, if we get rid of those flight info displays and go and get ourselves the ticketing kiosk, we can get 6 ticketing kiosks right in the middle, which is maybe going to be a bit risky because it might get super, super busy in there. But we'll see what happens. We'll get the ticketing kiosks. That might help things a little bit with the queues, which would be nice. We could get some ticketing kiosks in here as well if we really wanted to, but I feel like I want to try and avoid queues in here. But actually, let's do this. Let's get some ticketing kiosks in those middle bits near the flight info. And again, that might help things along a little bit. That's sort of a little mini ticketing space just in there. So hopefully that'll help things out. Hopefully that'll speed things up. Hopefully that'll keep our passengers nice and happy. But either way, ladies and gents, I'd say this airport has come a long way from where it started, and I really am super, super pleased with it. So next time, we'll focus a little bit more on the management side of things. I'd like to get a few more flights coming into the airport. I might go ahead and cancel the large flights because I don't think we need them anymore. And just try and get some of the smaller flights coming in. Just so we can see more activity. Because the thing that's really, really crippling our frame rate at the moment is just the large flights. There's 500 people going to one place at one time or coming from one place at one time. It's just not really good for the game. So we'll see what we do with that. Either way, I'd also like to maybe bring pricing down a little bit next time to get the airlines to like me a little bit more. So like I said, we can get more flights coming in and going and all that stuff. But again, that'll be for next time. I'd also like to decorate this area, but we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you kind of for watching. This has been SimAirport Part 8. Once again, thank you for the lovely comments in yesterday's episode. It's hugely appreciated. It's 6:40 a.m. on the day this video is going out. That's when I'm recording this, in case you felt like knowing. So I am still a little bit stressed, but I just go back and look at those comments, and it really does cheer me up. So it's hugely appreciated, the continued support of the channel and all that stuff, but I'll not get soppy again, because I'm getting soppy way too much lately. I'm getting old. That's what it is. I'm getting old. But yeah, thank you kind of for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!